I'm Mungo Darkmatter, and welcome to Dark Matters. Today on Dark Matters, I'm going to be building a Barncaster. Barncaster is typically a Telecaster type guitar or Telecaster type guitar body that's made out of reclaimed wood. The idea is that it's like made out of an old barn. Also, sometimes Telecasters that are made out of pine are called either Pinecasters or Barncasters as well. It kind of indicates that it's made out of wood that's been found, or it's kind of rustic. Anyway, I hope you enjoy the video and get a lot out of it. Here's the body of the Barncaster, which is my next guitar building project. I got this body off of eBay. It's handmade by someone. It's made out of cedar. Right here, they've drilled holes for the strings to go through the body already, and they've drilled a hole for the different pickups and for the control cavity right here. So I've got to make sure that the bridge lines up with the neck. And there are no mounting holes on here for a bridge. One reason is different bridges have slightly different configurations of holes. So I've got this bridge here, which I'm going to put on. I've already put the pickup in it, and the reason I put the pickup in it is because I want to make sure it lines up and still fits in this hole so that I don't have to reroute it, because I have a little bit of play that I can do with it. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to run this. There's a hole right here to go to the control cavity, so I'm going to run that through like that. I'm going to set this down in here. The other thing is this other pickup here, it runs down through this cavity and into the control cavity, because it's made to not have to have a pick guard on it if you don't want to. When they have a pick guard on it, they just have a thing routed out straight through here, and so we have to route the wire of this before we bolt down the bridge the final time. So that's something just to bear in mind. I've got a little bit of play right here, as you can see. You can move it around. Now generally what you do, if you have a body that already has a bridge on it, you would line up the neck to the body. But we've got to do a little bit of work here to make sure they're both lined up. So one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put these hex keys in here. And so they're going down into where the string holes are. So now I have a little less play. This is pretty much the play I have. That doesn't mean it's correct, because if the holes under here are drilled wrong, then we have a problem. So what I need to do is I need to measure. Let's make sure the neck's on here. This neck is not bolted on yet. So what I'll do is I'll measure from the nut of the neck down here, and it's supposed to be 25.5. That's the scale length. That falls here, and you want to make sure. Now it's different on different bridges. Some bridges tell you where the holes will fall. You want to make sure you have enough play in these saddles so that you can go either a little beyond 25.5 or a little below it. And so 25.5, it looks like we've got about 1/8 of an inch there, and this is almost, we've got about 3/16 of an inch there, and this is almost to the end of the screw. So it's just above 25.25. So that's probably pretty good for the adjustment on this. So this is set in a pretty good spot here. We just need to make sure we get it square, and that we get it so that the strings go down the edge of the neck and they don't go off or veer over too much. So the way we're going to do that is by hooking up some strings to the neck and hooking them up to the bridge, and we'll do the final adjustment on the neck and drill the holes for that last, but we'll get the bridge on into a position where we feel that it's going to be good. So we're going to do that. But before we do that, I'm going to take the neck off. And I'm going to take this bridge out. Because this body did not come with ferrules in the back of it, string ferrules. I put this first string ferrule in already. Now there are two different types of ferrules. One of the ferrules sits up on top of the body and the other one goes flush with it. These type right here sit up on top of the body. And these are a little bit easier to put in because if you use the ones that are like sunk into the body, if you drill this hole too deep, or the wide part of the hole, this part of the hole too deep, it can sink down below, or it might not sink down far enough. Because these holes do not have to be drilled this large all the way through. On the other end they can be smaller, which they are. And so we're going to just push this ferrule in here. It's going to go down pretty straight. Now, that one does not fit in as well as the other one did. Let's see if I can get this one. This one kind of pops down in there, but I've got a little tool here. And this tool is supposed to fit right into this ferrule here, but it's a little bit big. And you can use that to press it down with. So those are drilled to pretty good size. I can press it down with this tool. Now some people use this tool in a drill press and pull the drill press down onto it. This tool here I got from a luthier who made it by hand, but you can get similar tools from places like Stuart McDonald. And you can actually also put this into a drill press and hold it and use the handle of the drill press to press it down. In fact, that's the recommended way to do it. But these seem to fit in here pretty good. They are actually snug when I push them down, but this little tool kind of helps push them down a little bit. These are supposed to fit kind of snug. I could have actually sanded or filed down the edges of these holes to make them slightly bigger where I'm having some trouble. I'm going to just take this piece of wood and this rubber mallet. You want to be kind of careful because you don't want to do damage to either the ferrules or the body of the guitar, and that's why I'm using a piece of wood. I think we can go a little bit more with this one. Good, they fit in there good. They're not going to come out of there, I know that. It's a little bit hard to get them in, but they're not going to come out. Now these ferrules are ready right here. The reason I put those in first is because I'm going to run a string through here to help line up the bridge and the neck. I'm Mungo Darkmatter, and this has been Dark Matters. Be seeing you. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.